Hello, this is Tricia from Planet Ninkol. I'm here today to do a review of the Arthurian Tarot. I love this deck. So I had never heard about this deck until I saw Lisa from Tarot Alchemist using it, and I guess it's like her soul deck or her best friend deck, and so she was showing it a lot, and every time she showed it, I was just so taken with the cards. They just really drew me in. So yeah, I want to talk about it. I've had it for about a month. I've been working with it regularly, and I positively love it. And I have actually, I've gotten quite a few decks starting in like November last year. I've acquired a number of decks, and it's funny, you just never know which one's gonna like really get in here, and this one definitely has. Of all the new ones that I've acquired, I would feel really attached to it. So this is by Caitlin and John Matthews, and the cards are illustrated by Miranda Gray. It's a really nice sturdy box, and inside the cards came here, and the book on top of it, and that's how I store it. I have the cards out right now in order to show you. So I'll talk about the book a little bit. Sorry. That box is very nice, very sturdy. So the book is very thick. I guess this is the second edition maybe, or it's definitely not the first edition of this deck, which I guess came out in 1990. So this is a later edition, 2014, and I guess the old book had flower essence correspondence with each card, which I really am bummed that they don't have in this book, but oh well, I'll just be a project for myself to figure out my own flower essence system. So yeah, so the book is neat. It has in the beginning, it's a meaty thick book here. Introduction. There are some of the major arcana that are named differently, so it gives you the little list of that. One of particular note is the Wounded King is the Hanged Man. So I'll show you that in just a minute. So it talks a little bit about the quest, the holy quest for the Grail, and the Grail being sacred, something sacred. And so then it goes into the cards and the meanings. And for example, here are the 2 pages on the Fool. So it talks about the legend of King Arthur and how the card relates to that. And then it gives a little section down here where it says, in the upright position, the Fool, childlike trust, divine discontent, protection, the folly to be wise, optimism, adventure, spontaneity, youthful energy. Then it says reversed, foolhardiness, limitations of ignorance, reactionism. And then it gives a couple of questions to ponder, to think about, to journal about. How does spontaneity and trust keep you on this path? What enthusiasm do you feel? And what possibilities are calling you forth? So that's sort of the format for all of the major arcana cards and all the minor arcana cards. Although when you get into the minor arcana cards, it's less on each card. So here's Sword 3. So they take a half a page there. So there's a little less on the minor arcanas. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't used this book that much because I've just been kind of doing my own thing with this deck, and it's a very intuitive deck for me. Things just come to me with this deck, and I don't know that much about the legend of King Arthur. I would like to learn more about it. There's actually a movie coming out. I'm really hoping it's good. Please be good. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Anyway, the end of the book and it's a big portion of the book. Well, first of all, there's a middle section that says working with the cards, and has some tarot spreads, some kind of intense tarot spreads using quite a number of cards. And then the cool thing in this middle section is it also gives a timing chart. So it breaks down each card into a little timing schedule so that you can really use this deck to do timing readings, which I think is really neat. So that's in there, that's neat. And then it goes into the last section, which is the HalloQuest course. And this is a course that I guess it takes a year to do. It goes through the seasons. So each suit, you study each suit for an entire season. And it takes you through a daily lesson. Or I think it's a weekly. It's a lesson that you spend a week on, I think is actually what it is. And it's very, very thorough. And actually, I like the descriptions when they talk about the card in this section. I actually prefer the descriptions and what comes up in this section because it's a little, I don't know, they still talk about the legend, but it becomes much more personal and, I don't know, more like down to earth, something I can relate with kind of thing. So yeah, so let me just give you an example. So the first section, the quest for the sword, is in spring, and it takes you through the different lessons of all the swords, and not in order. Like, you don't start with the ace. Start actually with the 6 or the sword 10. Gives you different ideas for journeying and meditation and questions to journal on and things like that. Lots of good stuff in here. Invocation and visualization of the sword guardian. Lots of stuff. And then it will even have, let me just find it. And then it will even have little spreads throughout this section of little spreads to work on while you go through the lessons. So it's a pretty fantastic book. Like I said, I haven't been working with it that much. I have read here and there. It's just really good. So yeah, that's it on that. That's all I'm going to say on that. So let me show you these cards, and I will start with the major arcana here. And I'll try to go through these fairly quickly. Oh, I need to show you the backs, and talk about the cardstock, which is fantastic. It's like a standard size, I think Rider-Waite size, and the backs are just beautiful, simple green, this beautiful dark emerald green. This cardstock is good. So yeah, Merlin is the magician. There's something about these colors that, this is one of my favorite Hierophants now. Oh my gosh, I love him. Yeah, the colors are so soothing to me. I like that. I like all the nature. It makes me think about all of the cards in sort of a different way. And it definitely, for me, kind of, I don't know, it channels in some sort of, I don't know, just some very intuitive response. Yes, this is the Wounded King. This is the Hanged Man. So I guess I think about with this one, in times of sickness, there's a lot of perspective shifts that can happen when someone is very wounded and very ill. Get that death card. Cauldron, Temperance. Green Knight. Spiral Tower. I love that star card. So nice. Yeah, the other thing, the moon, the other thing about this deck is that I've just been writing with it. I just sit down and pull cards and write and forget about oh, this is one of my favorite sun cards. I like that it's not a baby. I think someone else said this in their review. I really like that it's not a baby. I don't know why. That has always kind of creeped me out a little bit. So I really love this sun card. Yeah, so lots of writing with this deck, and it's just been a beautiful experience. So I'll start with the Pentacles, the Stone Hallow. I love how there's just so many rocks in this deck. It's really this deck has made me think about rocks a lot more, and the sacredness of rocks and the energy that rocks carry. And yeah, there's lots of rocks. I really love it. And I thought I was going to be it was going to be, oh, I love this one, the Stone 5. You know, the thought that I had when I was looking at the Stone 5 was like, yeah, sometimes we are destitute, and we are out in the cold and then in the rain, and it's still beautiful. It's still beautiful. Yeah, I thought that it might be difficult or challenging to work with this minor arcana without people in it, because I have had some other experiences with other decks where I've looked at cards without people in them, and I'm like, ugh, nothing's happening. But that has not happened with this deck. It actually has been the opposite for me. I have just, the minor arcana have just like cracked open, and I've gotten such a deep and interesting perspective on some of the cards that I've never gotten from any other deck. These are the spears, the wands. They're really gorgeous. I hope you can see them well. And I like the little black borders. Oh, this card has really touched me. A card about home, commitment, marriage, celebration of the stability that you've created, the success that you've had so far, roots. But it intrigues me, the little path off into the woods. Being Sagittarius, I often struggle with the need to explore, and I have trouble with the roots and the commitment thing. So yeah, I like that the little path leads off, and I've been thinking about, it is possible. It is possible to have both things. It doesn't have to be one way or the other. There are many, many ways to live a life. Oh, Sword 7. Yeah, you can't really, I don't know if you can see it, but there's the sword right there. Many great reflections on this card as well. Just so much beautiful stuff. I didn't really know even what path working was until I think I got this deck. And then I started to just, like, without even thinking, been kind of like stepping into the cards, and like I could feel the environment, and I could like smell and hear, and I could really imagine what it was like to be in these scenes. Personally, I feel like here's the sword suit, Sword Hallow. I think it has to do with past life stuff. I feel very connected to this part of the world, to this imagery, to this type of feel. Oh, did I say something with Sword 7? No, that was Spear 7 I was looking at back there, not Sword 7, sorry. Because these are the swords. Sword 6. I can't tell if it looks... Yeah, it does look a little blurry, I think. So I don't think you're going to get the full beauty. Ooh, I love this one so much. You won't get the full beauty from this review. Look at that, Sword 9. They're like, heads are all on the gate there. Woo! Some bad shit going on in the head. Sword 10. Love it. I just love it so much. Okay, the last suit that we're going to go through, the last suit that there is the Grail Hallow, the cups. Love that. Had a nice reflection in that one too. Grail 2. Grail 3. Yeah, this deck has really cracked me open, I would have to say. I don't know if I've said that about a lot of decks. I find it fascinating how, how personal it is, what we're really drawn to and what really opens us up. Probably lots of factors involved. Past lives, current lives. All right. Grail King. So that's the deck. I hope you've enjoyed looking at it. If you have any questions, let me know. Hopefully I didn't go through those too fast. Yeah, beautiful deck. I have no regrets about getting this deck. It is fantastic. I just love working with it, and I'm going to keep working with it. And anything super exciting happens, I'll let you know. Have a great day.